Good morning and welcome to Gulfstream today. Brian Nato and Samantha Perry with you as we kick off another four-day racing week here in Hollandale Beach. The Royal Palm Meet is front and center, and you can see a beautiful picture there because the weather is, well, picture perfect here on a Thursday afternoon.
It is. It's getting warmer and warmer. It feels like summer is just sneaking up on us, but it's good because we've got a fast track, firm turf, big weekend ahead. But looking back on Sunday, somebody swept the Rainbow and the Pick 5.
How about that, right? We were talking about that off the air. The Pick 5 paid $163, $163,000. Here's the sweeper in the Rainbow, $115,000. You should, if you get Judge Judith home, you should just get that in and of itself. Here's $115,000. That's a heck of a job by whoever out there swept this thing. That is a monster payoff, and that's why we love the Rainbow Six. It is there, and that was, I believe, day 2 or 3. So in its infancy, by no means am I going to tell you this was easy, but by no means was there, 340 to 1s in there either. So we'll start anew today, and on this 8-race card, we'll kick it off in race 3, that Rainbow Six ticket. Ron Nicoletti will have a ticket. No estimation or anything, but, we throw $40,000, $50,000 out there, and I'm not going to scoff at that after last Saturday.
No. Not at all.
we would take that and run. The early Pick 5 also kicks off in race number 1. And again, as Samantha said, we're on a fast main track and a firm turf course, and Topeka as well. Early Pick 5 in the opener. Let's take a look at my ticket. Big scratch in this sequence in race number 3. So I'm up to $24 in race 2. The top pick in there is the 6, and that is Napoleonic War. Race 3 was the big scratch with the odds-on favorite of the 5 double play king. I scratch into the 2, All About Lucky, and then a 3x4 double to get out of the sequence. Race 4 is the 6, Maximo, should be a price in there. And in race number 5, the 7, Always Dialed, is my long shot. So $24 early Pick 5 ticket. You can see me singling in the opener because that's my best bet, but maybe my partner went a little bit different. It's not an easy one at all. We're on the Topeka at 5.5 furlongs. These are 3-year-olds or 4 and up, which have never won 3 or a race since 11/9/2023. And you're going to go down on the inside. Christensen is really, since they cut him back, been in good form.
Yeah, he has. And I feel like, the last 3 races he's been no worse than second. I like that a lot. I just don't particularly trust Frosted Faith. You've been getting Jenna Antonucci to the winner's circle. Probably all 4 of her wins that she's had this Royal Palm Meet. But for me, I think that horse is a little bit of a play against today.
Yeah, I mean, this is my best bet. I don't disagree with you. I made him 7-2 on the line. I hope I get something like that because he was 42 to 1 in his last start. Now, his last start was against tons better. Maybe they're going to bet him. I don't know. Anthony Armagata is pretty darn good in and of its own right. And, he couldn't get this guy going. I like the post. I like the fact that, Christensen could be vulnerable being on the inside. Mm-hmm. So this is my best bet. Volkert, I think, is, to me, clearly the horse to beat on the drop.
Yeah, this horse could be dangerous as well. They cleaned the horse for $25,000. They tried him back at the 35, which is pretty lateral, and the 16,000 level is, again, I feel like the same. But when you get to those within $10,000 of each other, they're all about the same in my eyes.
And the Bouncer race was a good one. They didn't really bet Bouncer. You're allowed to maybe pick it apart because he hadn't run since, I think, last August.
It's been a while,
It'd been a while, but he got it done on class that day, so we'll see. Early Pick 4 now in race number 2. We'll get on a firm turf course starter optional claimer here for the 4-year-olds and up. We'll take a look at Samantha's ticket, and then we'll get into this race here.
A little bit of a rework just due to a big scratch. Race 2, we'll get into in a second. Race 3, this was the big scratch of Double Play King, and I feel like kind of opened the race up a little bit. But the 6 I scratch into, that's Cajun Hope. Jesus Rios will ride race 4. Lieutenant Stan, it's a single for me. Race 5, tricky one, but I've got Queen Valentina on top, a $9 play, Brian.
I like it, and this is a good one here on the turf. And let's see where you went. Well, you went with the 4. It's a good starting off point because Tashawn Hazelwood will ride this one. Champion jockey from Barbados who's over here now, brings his tack to South Florida. 25 years old, going to ride some horses for Safi. He's on live on a couple of them today, and Novo Soul, I think, is certainly one of them.
Yeah, definitely. You look at the race 2 starts back. It was for 50, but won very narrowly, I should say, and I don't feel like it was the strongest race, but it was still a win. Maybe that put him on the right path. The next race after that, that was a tough race. You had Far Bridge off the comeback here. One Night Standers. Those were really good turf horses. He doesn't face anybody like that.
No, if you're not familiar with Farbridge, he was a Grade 1 winning 3-year-old who ran up at Churchill on Derby Day in that snazzy Grade 1 Turf Classic. So that is a very, very good race, as Samantha says. Dropping again now with Napoleonic War. We'll see what we get today. I was disappointed in his race last time, but maybe he cycles back. I didn't really trust the favorites here.
No.
We both have Space Launch in second. Let's bring up the replay last time with Space Launch, Tatanka, and Eyes on Target. Here's Space Launch, Tatanka getting dueled on the lead through just hellacious splits. You know, I don't want to beat up Space Launch too much, but you'll never have a better trip than this.
No, everything set up perfect for him this day. It was the seas parting. You had a horse like Running with Scissors. I actually picked him that day, and this horse was on the outside and just stalled. All the others in this race, you can't really, I don't know. You can't trust him.
No, there's only one horse you can use out of the race, and that's Space Launch, and I get it. But again, I know he's down inside again. It was just a really good ride by Miguel Vasquez. But, can you go to the well with that kind of run again?
Probably not.
A very fast race, too, and I just kind of feel like he comes back a little bit. You've got my top pick in the mix as well. We've got the 4 in here. The order is what will to be determined at about 1:39 in the PM. We've got 8 of them for you on this Thursday card, so we'll take a quick break. When we come back, as we mentioned, the Rainbow Six starts anew in race number 3, and Ron Nicoletti's got a ticket. Stay tuned for that.
And they're off.
New DRF All Access Past Performances. With one best-in-class product, you now get all 3 past performance formats. Easily switch between views. Access the most trusted information in horse racing with DRF All Access Past Performances. Go to DRF.com and use coupon code 1FREEPP for a free single card today.
And welcome back to Gulfstream today. Brian and Samantha with you. Beautiful Thursday here in Hollandale Beach. We hope to see you out here at Gulfstream Park. And as we mentioned a few times already, the Rainbow Six was taken down on Sunday for $106,000. So we'll start anew today in race number 3. And $40,000, $50,000, $60,000, depending on what they want to fire. It's a good time to swoop in. We'll take a look at Ron Nicoletti's ticket. Ronnie will be with us tomorrow back here. $28.80 for Ron, and he's spreading a little bit early on.
Yeah, he is. You see that 5th race, which I completely agree with. This is a really tricky race. None of them are actually turf horses, I feel like. So it's a tricky one. He does have my top pick, Queen Valentina, in the mix. Race 6, 7, and 8, he narrows down, which is good. And you see in the last race, the 9 is his single. Wow, I am
fast and steady.
I'm shocked.
Whoa!
I mean, good for him. It's 12-1. I wonder if that's a long shot or a best bet for him. I'm not sure, but this is a very bold single. $28.80 the play.
Now, unfortunately for Ronnie and anybody else who follows or takes his picks, 2-1 and 6-1 are out of that race. So we'll see what he gets there. But he should be a price at least. Yeah. And is a 2-time local turf winner. So we'll get to it in a little bit. But let's start it off here now. In race number 3, we're on a fast main track. We'll go 6.5 furlongs here. These are 4-year-olds and up. The veterans go at it for 12.5. A scratch of the 5. Samantha talked about it. I did too. Double Play King at 4-5 on the morning line is out. Jesus Rios is going to ride the 6 Cajun Hope. And what that does, if nothing else, it turns probably a very likely free square into what could be a very wide open race.
Yeah, it really could. With the scratches here, with the one scratch, there's nobody, though these are 4 and up. So, Cajun Hope to me is a horse that's got the recency, which I like a lot. Jesus Rios, like you said, gets aboard. This is a great outside post for this horse, and let's just try to get it home here with Michael Yates.
You know, this is a good horse to talk about, too, especially kicking off a Rainbow or kicking off a new racing week. Tampa closed on Saturday, so we're going to get a lot of influx of their horses here at Gulfstream Park. I always kind of say this is the big leagues over here, and they're going to be looking up, theoretically, at a lot of our horses. This one does come in off a win. I think that's important. We're going to see a race, I think it's tomorrow, where 7 of the 8 horses are from Tampa. So, you know, the class is going to play. But with that being said, a lot of the Tampa horses have run here, as has your horse. And your horse, 2 of the 3 lifetime wins are right here at Gulfstream Park. So it's just another kind of thing to sift through as you're doing the handicapping. I'm on the 2, All About Lucky. I scratch into the 2, All About Lucky. Won last time for Jenna Antonucci at 2-1. Let's take a look at a stat here. This is kind of an interesting one. And Samantha said, you know, this barn has been very, very good to me. How about this, though? Winner last out in a dirt sprint. Not a huge sample, but 0 for 14. Only 2 of them have hit the board. So
yeah, that's
again,
interesting.
It's interesting, right? And I scratch into this horse. This horse has speed.
Yes.
And Jose Morelos has been the one predominantly teaming with Jenna for the wins. He should likely put this one on the lead.
Yeah, that's going to be this horse's best shot at victory, I feel like.
I would think so. Solomon Gold off the claim now for Liz Doble's. Got a win the other day. The barn has been very, very cold. But the horses have been running, I think.
They have been.
Right?
They just been a little unlucky.
Yeah, I think so, too. So take note of that. And, again, with the scratch, wide open, and unfortunately value comes out the window a little bit. But, hey, Joe DiBaggio, the old guy's back in under the reclaim for Gary Jackson, who's had the majority of his success. Maybe he wakes him back up off albeit a very bad run last time. Late 5 here in race number 4. We're on the Tapeta 5 furlongs 3 and up, which have never won 2. The tag is 16. It's clean, and it's late pick 5. What's Samantha?
Yeah, we'll take a look at it here. $18 is the play. I've got 2 singles. We'll get to this race in just a second, but tiebreaker for me is my best bet in race number 6. Race 8, that's a very tricky finale. I don't have Ron's pick at all. You could add that horse in there. I feel like it's a pretty wide open race, but I do have the 3 Cosmic Speculation on top. And an $18 ticket. It's a good late 5 and late 6. I think it's trickier than it looks.
I agree. I don't have Ron's pick either, and his single in the last race is the 9, Fast and Steady. 12-1. So just take note of that if you're spreading, and we both think it's a spread race. So we'll have to see, but let's kick it off here now. Again, on the Tapeta at 5 furlongs here, a strong favorite on the inside to Lieutenant Stan, and that's where you're going to go. Co-favorites, I should say. Yeah,
big. I don't want to say a big drop, but a drop enough that I feel like this horse will make a dent here. And you know, a 4th and a 3rd place finish, it's just average, but maybe it's his turn today.
Yeah. This horse should be favored. I didn't make him favored because of the connections, and I don't really know why, but they like to bet Gibran a lot.
They do.
And he does have Edgar Zayas. But if we're talking about a fair betting line, this horse should clearly be favored over Gibran. I just don't know if it's going to happen at post time, but neither here nor there in that terms. But I'm not picking Gibran, that's for sure. You're not picking Gibran either, and so I picked Maximo, who's not my long shot, but I'll take a stab with him. He hasn't been out since April of last year. That's coming up on 13 months, so I get that, where you been, facing older for the first time, but he is a fresh new face, and I don't want to beat up Gibran or Lieutenant Stan, but if those 2 horses are 8-5 and 9-5, you're allowed to get a little cheeky in here.
Yeah, you are. I mean, this is a 4-year-old too, facing some 3-year-olds, so that gives him an upper hand. Now, this is his first time facing older.
Yeah.
Where have you been? You don't know. There's not a lot of works on the page, but still, you're allowed to take a shot.
Yeah, and the barn is 2 for 7 here at the meet, so it's 2 for 9, excuse me. So we've got a couple wins. Listen, Gibran figures. Let's not beat around the bush here. But as you said, now he's a 3-year-old, has never run against older horses, and he's just no real better than a few others on paper either.
He seems to have he lost his speed in this last 2 races, and that's what worries me.
I think it's very fair because his speed 3 back was 43-3 when he just walloped the field, and he couldn't make the front last time. He's 7th last time off of 45. So I agree. That's
Yeah.
very, very worrisome. Good to see Edgar Zayas take the mount, and that's going to attract a lot of tote action.
Right.
Late pick 4 goes in race number 5. We're sprinting 5 on the turf. It's a $35,000 maiden claimer. 3-year-olds and up. We'll take a look at my ticket now. The 4, Rocky Shitu, is out of this race. That's an important scratch. I'm spreading here. You talked about it. It's that kind of race. In race number 6, the top pick is the 3, Beastly Speed, at a very short number. I'm not going to try to beat that one. In race number 7, the 4, Baja Secret, another short price. And then I will spread like Samantha, like my partner, in race 7, and race 8, and that is 2, the 7, and that is Uncaptured Boy at 5-1. So back in it, that is a $8 late pick 4. Yeah, $8. I wasn't going to double check it with you.
I don't. Yeah.
No.
Let's not have me check the maths on that, please.
Have you check the math on that. The math is.
Maths.
So here we go. Now back to this one. This is a tricky race. It's got my long shot. I think you're going with the 1. I think right
Yeah.
outside the box. I've got her underneath, but on my ticket as well. It's that kind of race. You said it. They're not really turf horses.
No, not at all. So what is going to happen today, I have no idea. I just was looking. None of these horses have a grass win
Right.
at all. But I feel like Queen Valentina has gotten the closest, and that's what I like about that.
I agree wholeheartedly. I mean, I put her in my mix. Her turf
Yeah.
races, figure-wise, stack up with this group. Going to have to work out a trip on the inside with, we'll see what we get. But she's in the mix here on paper. This is my long shot, the 7, always dialed. Ronald Coy has had a good year going to
Yeah.
run this horse, not only with him on turf for the first time, but the first time on turf. And I like the speed and I like the post.
Yeah, it really is. And you said it. This has been a barn that has just been firing away. This is a good move, and I think, I don't have him anywhere, but I do think that if you were playing a serious 5 or 6, pick 5,
Yeah.
pick 6 ticket, this is a horse to use.
Let's take a look at Praiseworthy, who very likely will be favored in here, should be favored in here. This is a turf race 2 back,
Yeah.
and it'll win this race. It beat some of these horses. Beat Rocky Shitu, who's in here as well, who's out of this race. Excuse me. Here's Guerrero and Pete's going to call these horses.
Yes.
That's why I'm sitting here and he's upstairs, and one of the best in the business. So, but anyway, this is a big time run. But I don't know. We're going to get it again.
The horse is 0 for 15. He runs hard. He runs this type of race each time. He just can't get to the winner's circle. They bottomed out Carongo that day. I don't know why, how. It was interesting. Carongo didn't come back to run any good.
No.
I mean, we didn't think he was going to. I don't think you or I picked him that day. But Praiseworthy, he's going to go out and do his thing. It could be today.
This is why handicapping in this game is so fun, because you can say that race is so far different than anything he's ever run.
Yeah.
But then you can also say that's the only turf sprint he's ever had. So I don't know, or
Yeah.
recently at least. It's all in the eye of the beholder. You got a filly down inside with Queen Valentina as well, so you
Right.
get a little weight break there. I don't know. I think we're just both of you picking up what we're putting down. We're telling
It's
you
a
to
tricky
spread.
race, yeah.
We're telling you to go a little bit more than just the 6. Just talk quickly about the 8, More Spring Spirit, who's a big number here for Monica McGoey trying turf.
Well, trying turf for the first time showed speed, and I like the way the More Spirits have really kind of come out as of late. And I think that More Spirit is a sneaky good, maybe we haven't seen it so much yet, but grass sire.
Well, he's one of those horses that was all dirt, pretty much more one turn, I think, than 2, and certainly never got turf. So you're kind of finding that out with everybody else, and if you can pick up on it, I think that's and you get ahead of the curve. It's a good thing. Race 6 goes 6.5 on a fast main track. These are 3-year-olds and up, which have never won 2. The tag is a quarter. Well, you're going to talk about the 2 tiebreaker now. This is an interesting horse. I almost pulled this replay up of the Saratoga race because this horse now is back on the main track, second off a long, long layoff.
Yeah, and this is a horse that the best races have been on the dirt.
Right.
And they kept on trying this horse on the grass. The horses has got the horse and then put him on the Tapeta. the Tapeta, just ignore that race because some horses just don't like it.
Yeah.
And this horse, if he goes back to that Saratoga race, he's going to be really tough.
He will be. Now, it was a $40,000 state-bred maiden claimer,
Right.
but it sticks out like a sore thumb. I don't think there's any doubt about that. It seems like he's got a running style where 6.5 furlongs is not going to pose a problem
No.
either. I'm kind of opting out with the 3 Beastly Speed, and again, this is Tayshaun Hazelwood, who looks very primed to get his first career win in the U.S. Safi's going to put him on some horses, and he's putting him on a live one here.
Yeah, this horse is definitely the one to beat
Right.
if he runs like that again. He got into a little bit of trouble last time. I don't think it made that much of an impact, but I just hope this horse doesn't have some hang in him.
Well, I think that's possible.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that, because it always worries me a little bit when, he's been very well bet in all 4 starts since he broke his maiden. He's never been close, really, in any
No,
of them. He's
that's
never
a good point.
threatened to win her, and at least you're going to get a little more value. What do you make of Starship Mocha, who got thrown to the wolves in the Hutchison off the claim, but that win 2 back, albeit for Steve Dwoskin, was just dominant.
It was a huge effort. Now, this is a 3-year-old. There are 2 of them in this race. He's going to be up against it, but I feel like he's better
Yeah.
than some of these on their best day.
No, I think that's true, and it's a little scary now. He's going to run probably what we can say in the proper spot
Right.
for the first time off the claim for Jose D'Angelo and Bruno Schickendas. Late double, 6.5 is a popular distance on the main track today. These are fillies and mares 3 and up, which have never won 2. Tag is 16, a couple scratches of the 1 Braseska and the 7 Tribute, a couple long shot scratches. I like this. We're all over the place here. Naughty Favors. You were talking this might be your long shot?
Yeah,
Okay.
well, now we lose 2 horses in the race, so I'm not sure how much it'll be. But I can't make a huge case for this filly other than the fact that I know she's better than the race 2 back on the dirt. She got her speed back on the Tapeta. I still think that I like her more on the dirt course. Maybe she just stubbed her toe a little bit in that last race for 35,000. Unrelentless was pretty good that day, and then came
Yeah.
back and ran all right. Was it Sunday maybe? So for Dave Fox. So I think that she's better, and she's going to stay in this $16,000 level. And we get Edwin Gonzalez aboard.
Yeah, never a bad thing. Now,
No.
the race goes through the 2 4-year-olds here, Baja
yeah.
Secret and Grand Birdie. I'm not going to use them both because I think, again, gambling 101 is,
Yeah.
as well as anybody. It's not doing you any favors if you use them both and double your ticket. Baja Secret, I just feel like with Edgard and a little bit of a cutback's not going to hurt her either. A good
Yeah.
second behind Miss Ukrainia, who was so good for whatever reason in her last start. So I think that's the race to beat. I want to show you Grand Birdie because we haven't seen her since this race. It was back August 25th. Now that's not a good sign. There's
No.
nothing going on here other than a horse just drawing off for fun.
Yeah, this was, in the thick of the summertime here. And I don't want to say that she wasn't running in front of anything, but she really wasn't, I don't think.
No. Now, that was her only dirt start, okay, so you have to give her credit for
Yes.
that. It sticks out on the page. It's the race to beat, but again, where have you been? This was August 25th, and we haven't seen her since. It is Victor Barboza. He's back firing hot, like we kind of felt it could be coming back around.
Yeah.
But, tote board race, I think, as well, because, I don't know, you want to see her live up there taking money. You're fading Baja Secret.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, I like it. Nothing wrong with that. Fading a favorite. I think it's a favorite. Good one on the turf to wrap it up. Unfortunately, a couple scratches. A few of them were late, too. So just take note of that on this mile and 16, 3-year-olds and up. Never won 3. It's a $16,000 tag. The 2 Andy one was out. We got him late, at least. The 6 Exalt, huge scratch, and the 8 Free Smoke, another one, are both out of here. We've got all the same horses in a little jangled order. We'll start with you with Cosmic Speculation coming over from Tampa. 2 for 3 here, though.
That's what I like
Yep.
a lot. This horse obviously has an affinity for this type of grass course here. It almost seems like this. You look back at the races whenever this horse was a 3-year-old last year, and they were running against. He was running against some really strong competition. I mean, Bapio isn't that good anymore, but still, the horses were good that he was facing. He got a little bit of another leg up, I feel like, at Tampa getting those 2 turns. Just cross out the 5.5 furlong race here against Shaky Shabazz, and that was 5 furlongs. This horse doesn't want to go that.
No.
Yeah, so we'll see.
And that was just a tightener, as you can see,
Right.
obviously. And now Joe's got him back rolling here, Joe Orsino.
Yeah.
I am on the 7, who I always was on. I like the speed for Uncaptured Boy. Edgard is here. Yeah, we do rise pretty significantly off a 2L, but speed, as we've talked about time and time again on a fast, firm turf course, is going to play out there.
Yeah, and normally I wouldn't really like a horse like this
Right.
because he just won for non-2, and there wasn't much behind him in that field either. But you said it with the speed. It's just they're not making up so much ground, and this is a $16,000 claiming race. They
Right.
don't have a big turn of foot either.
No,
anybody in this field.
And speaking of which, let's bring up Born a Gambler, who I can speak for my partner when I say I knew she wasn't going to pick him. I certainly wasn't going to pick him.
Yeah.
This was his time last time, and he just didn't do any running. I know he got spread out wide. Big deal.
Yeah.
This just, no.
No, this is a hard horse to.
There's Exalt. He's out, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But
This horse always gets bet. You can't really give him much of an excuse of being wide. He just seems like he doesn't want to win, to be honest.
That's 100% why. Jen Young now off the claim, and kudos to Jen for getting it going again. She's been winning some races. Powder Pop, we know how they've been doing too. I know Roddy Valenti very, very well, his former owner, and he was looking for a drop on this horse, and that was the spot. That was 9-5, and you just saw what he delivered. You just can't. Me personally or you personally, we can't come back to this horse at what's going to be, especially with the scratch of Exalt, he's going to be a very, very short number in here.
Definitely, yeah.
So when they claim him for 16, it's not a negative that they're running him back for 16, but Powder Pop has, been very aggressive and sharp with their claims, and you can just have him right back for 16. So this is a big fade, I think, for both of us
Yes,
today.
definitely, yeah.
And again, Ronnie Single, I'll text him and see what that is. But Ronnie Single is the 9 Fast and Steady, who is a 2-time winner here. 12 on the morning line for very low percentage trainer. Scratches are going to hurt him, but this is a very, very interesting single. And I'll tell you what, if you get that one home, regardless of scratches, you're going to blow things up.
Yeah.
And Ronnie's long shot was going very, very good. You can see his long shots, too. He's been tweeting them out, too.
Yeah.
Videos for that.
Yeah, yes.
As well. So, okay. Let's get to the lightning round. 8 of them for you today. Again, the Rainbow starts anew in race number 3, but as we do each and every Thursday, now we'll take a look at the standings here in the Royal Palm Meet.
Yep, I don't think that there's been much change in the plot. I foresee it not happening. Edgar Zayas has just started to draw away. The podium has been pretty good. Miguel Vasquez riding well. Amisa Jaramillo as well. He went to Kentucky on Saturday to ride the Derby. Good to have him back, but he's been riding very well.
Yeah, I agree. And Edgar just looks very intent on putting distance between himself and everybody else. Trainer standings now. Take a look at that. Safi should be, he's starting to he's just got the numbers and he's got the barn, obviously, too. But underneath, those guys are all going to probably vie for, this kind of spot.
Yeah, at least for right now. Right. Mark Cassie's going to Colonial here pretty soon. He'll leave some here, but still, the numbers will go down with that. But Safi will continue to go forward.
Mark Cassie in the barn is a good segue to the next thing because we've got those 2 Royal Ascot qualifiers on Saturday, the Royal Palm Juvenile and Juvenile Fillies, and the Cassie runners and DJ Stables are in both of those races. 120 on the line, but the big news is, of course, the automatic qualifiers to Royal Ascot.
Yeah, it's a great little travel stipend you get when you win those races if you choose to go. Both George Weaver's runners went last year and it proved very fruitful, at least for one of them.
Yeah, without a doubt. George is in races on Saturday as well. And, yeah, he took a bolt over last year and, of course, won that Queen Mary. Group 2. You were there.
Yeah, I'm trying to. It was either the Queen Mary or Queen Anne. There's a lot of queens over there.
There is a lot.
I don't think spoiler alert. I don't think we're gonna get him home this year, though.
He's got a first-time starter in there that could be very live.
I'm completely against that horse.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah.
See that? That's good to know. Could be live on the board.
Very live on the board. There you go.
Paid $275, I think. Wesley Ward. This is interesting now. This year, we've got a second quickly. Wesley brought 2 quote-unquote hot shots last year that had never started, and they didn't get their picture taken. He's bringing 2 this year that have started. And
yeah, he's coming with intent this year.
Demolished at Keeneland. We'll talk about that throughout the course of the week here. Best bet for you?
It's the 2-horse tiebreaker in race 6.
Mine is 24 minutes from right now with Frosted Faith in the opener, who's taking a lot of early money. Your long shot?
Naughty Favors.
Naughty
Race
favors
7.
at 8-1. A couple long shot scratches in that race, so hopefully you still get some value.
Don't take under 5-1. I will say that on that horse.
I agree.
Yeah.
And I will echo that sentiment on my long shot, who's in the turf race, Always Dialed, who's at 8, and quite frankly should be, and I hope is, because I agree with my partner. You got to get value on both our horses, and if they're underlays, that wouldn't be ideal. That's it for us. Pete's upstairs. The good news is not a lot for him to do for you today on a fast and firm Thursday. We'll be back here for the opener shortly. Best of luck.